Losing a parent is one of the deepest wounds a human being can carry. When it happens early in life, like losing a mother as a child or a father during your teenage years, it doesn't just leave you with sadness. It changes the way you grow, the way you trust, the way you love, the way you see yourself. Many of us tell ourselves, time heals all wounds. But some wounds don't simply fade with time. They wait inside us, quietly shaping who we become, until one day we notice we are still carrying the loss. In this video, we'll explore the signs that you may not have fully healed the trauma of losing a parent. And then, we'll walk together through the steps of healing, psychological, emotional, and spiritual truths that can help you release the pain and carry your parent's memory with love instead of suffering. Grief doesn't always look like crying or sadness. Sometimes it hides in everyday life, in subtle triggers, unexplained feelings, or patterns that keep repeating. Here are some of the most common signs that your parent loss trauma is still unhealed. Emotional triggers that seem too much. Have you ever cried watching a movie where someone loses a parent, even if you don't usually cry at films? Or maybe a simple commercial of a child hugging their mom leaves you with tears you can't explain? This happens because the image on the screen isn't just fiction. It touches a wound you carry deep inside. Psychologists call this grief reactivation. It's when present experiences awaken past losses. If this happens to you often, it may mean your grief still needs space to heal. Feeling an invisible loneliness, even around others. You might be surrounded by family, friends, even a partner. But deep inside, there's a loneliness you can't name. It's not about being physically alone. It's about the absence of the one person who should have been there. Your mom's embrace, your dad's steady presence. Many people describe it as a missing piece. You're not sure what's missing, but you feel it every time life gets hard. Struggles with attachment and relationships. When a child loses a parent, their sense of safety is shaken. Some grow up fearing abandonment, clinging tightly to loved ones out of terror of being left again. Others push people away, keeping emotional distance because needing someone feels too dangerous. For example, maybe when someone doesn't text you back, you spiral into panic, convinced they've left you. Or maybe you end relationships early, telling yourself, I'd rather leave before they hurt me. Both are signs of unresolved loss. Over-responsibility and hyper-independence. Did you feel like you had to grow up too fast? Children who lose a parent often take on adult roles early. They become the strong one, the caretaker, the achiever. As adults, this turns into hyper-independence, never asking for help, never showing weakness. It looks like strength to the outside world, but inside it's exhaustion. And beneath the exhaustion, it's a child still longing to be cared for. Unprocessed anger, guilt, or shame loss can leave behind complicated emotions. You might feel angry at life, at fate, even at your parent for leaving you. Or you may feel guilt, thinking, if I had done something differently, maybe they'd still be here. Children, especially, often blame themselves. If your mother died when you were 8, you may have carried the secret belief, it's my fault somehow. Even as an adult, that guilt whispers, shaping your sense of worth. Avoidance of grief. Maybe you rarely talk about your parent. You avoid their pictures, their name, their memory, because you believe that not thinking about it means not hurting. But grief doesn't vanish by being buried. It waits, and when it leaks out, through sudden sadness, unexplained anxiety, or even physical illness, it can feel overwhelming. Difficulty trusting life. When you lose a parent young, you learn a hard truth too early. That life can take away what you love without warning. This can leave you living in constant fear, always waiting for something bad to happen. You struggle to relax, to trust, to believe in stability. Identity confusion. Parents aren't just people we love. They are mirrors of who we are. Without them, you may wonder, who am I really? You may struggle with self-worth, with belonging, with direction in life. Sometimes you feel like you're living without an anchor. If any of these resonate with you, know this: you are not alone. These signs don't mean you're broken. They only mean your wound has not been given the time, care, and love it still deserves. Healing doesn't mean erasing your grief. It means learning to carry it in a way that doesn't weigh you down. Here are steps, grounded in both psychology and human experience, that can help you on this journey. 1. Allow the grief to exist. The first step is permission. Many of us try to be strong. We hide our tears, thinking grief makes us weak. But unexpressed grief doesn't disappear, it hardens. Give yourself permission to cry, to journal, to sit with the sadness. Remind yourself, my tears honor my love. 2. Name the loss in your story. When we don't speak about our parent, the loss becomes a shadow. But when we bring it into our story, it integrates. You can say, yes, I lost my father when I was young. It shaped me, and I am learning to heal. Naming it breaks the silence. And silence is what keeps wounds from healing. 3. Inner child work. If you lost a parent as a child, part of you is still frozen at that age. To heal, you must reparent that inner child. Imagine your younger self. See the child sitting alone, scared, grieving. Now imagine yourself as the adult walking into that memory. You sit beside them and say, you are not alone anymore. You did not deserve this pain. I will protect you now. This practice helps release the unmet needs of the past. 4. Seek safe relationships. Trauma is often healed in connection. Find a therapist, a grief support group, or even a trusted friend who can hold space for your story. When your pain is witnessed without judgment, healing begins. 5. Release guilt and anger. It is not your fault. Let me repeat that. It is not your fault. Children often carry guilt for a parent's death. But the truth is, you were never responsible. Sometimes it helps to write a letter. Write to your parent. Express the anger, the guilt, the sorrow. Then write back to yourself, imagining what they would say. My child, it was never your fault. I love you. Be free. 6. Create rituals of remembrance. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means transforming the relationship from one of loss to one of love. You can light a candle on their birthday, keep one of their values alive in your own life, or simply whisper their name when you need strength. These small rituals remind you that your bond is still alive, even if their body is gone. 7. Reconnect with joy in life. Grief often convinces us that feeling happy is betrayal, that if we smile, laugh, or love again, we're dishonoring their memory. But the opposite is true. To live fully is to honor them. Your parents' love is carried forward every time you choose life, peace, and joy. 8. Seek professional healing. When needed, sometimes grief becomes complicated. It turns into depression, anxiety, or PTSD. In such cases, therapy, grief counseling, or trauma work can help untangle what feels impossible to carry alone. There is no shame in seeking help. Healing in community is not weakness, it's wisdom. Losing a parent changes you forever. But grief doesn't have to define you. It can teach you compassion. It can deepen your capacity to love. It can even show you the strength you never knew you had. So if you lost your mother, your father, if you were a child forced to grow up too fast, remember this: you can still build a life of safety, meaning, and love. Your parents' memory doesn't live in their absence. It lives in you, in the way you love, in the choices you make, in the person you continue to become. Grief will always be part of your story, but it does not have to be the ending. If this message touched your heart, take a deep breath with me. You don't have to carry this pain alone. Healing is possible. If you'd like to walk further on this journey of healing, reflection, and peace, consider joining this channel. Here, we create a space for the soul to breathe, for wounds to soften, and for love to remain alive. Subscribe if you feel called, Share this with someone who might need it.